A trust is a very popular and necessary estate planning tool. Every trust has to have four parts. The first part is you need to have a grantor. That is the person creating the trust, the one granting the trust. That's the client. Then you need to have a trustee. The trustee is the manager, the one that's going to be entrusted with the duties of operating the trust. Then thirdly, you need what's called a beneficiary. That's the person or people, children perhaps, grandchildren, that are going to benefit from the trust itself, okay? Fourth and finally, you need to have something go into the trust, an asset, it could be financial accounts, could be real estate, that are actually going to be the assets that are going to be managed by the trustee and held according to the terms of the trust itself. Now, a lifetime trust is broken into two parts. There's going to be the first part, which is what's going to happen with these trust assets? How are they going to be managed while the grantor is alive? So that's about lifetime use, occupancy, living in the house, distributions during lifetime. But it's also about, the second part is it's also about what happens to those assets after the client or the grantor passes away. So a trust itself is not some far out confusing document just for the super wealthy, the Vanderbilts and the Kennedys and Rockefellers. It's for everyday people because it allows you to set up a way to manage your property while you're alive. In addition, it allows you to distribute the property how and when and to whom you want after you pass away. When we look at these lifetime trusts, there's two primary types. There is a revocable trust and there is an irrevocable trust. The revocable trust serves primarily one purpose, and that's to avoid probate. So again, the revocable trust is about avoiding probate. And a revocable trust is what it sounds like. It's revocable. So it's one where the client retains all control as well as all access over what's inside the trust. So for them, this revocable trust becomes this transparent entity simply to hold their assets and avoid probate when they pass away. In addition, this revocable trust can be a receptacle for life insurance, for retirement accounts, so that you can control how your older children, your minor children, all inherit these assets on your terms once you ultimately do pass on. The revocable trust is a little confusing at times for some people. The revocable trust is one where the client is the grantor creator and they're the trustee, and they're the beneficiary. So it really is this transparent entity that helps you consolidate your assets, manage your assets, and again, avoid probate. Now, the irrevocable trust, that is a different animal altogether. The irrevocable trust is built to avoid probate, so it does that, but it primarily exists to protect something. So an irrevocable trust is going to be utilized to protect your house if you're looking at avoiding nursing home costs later on, perhaps seeking Medicaid eligibility. So an irrevocable trust is one that we implement every day of the week, and it's going to be there to protect and shelter your house, not only for your spouse, but also for your children down the road. Another main reason that people undertake irrevocable trusts are going to be estate taxation. So if we're dealing with a client with a significant net worth, an irrevocable trust may be appropriate, not for Medicaid and nursing home needs, but again for estate tax and minimization planning, which is something that we undertake as well. In the irrevocable trust, the client is the grantor, the one setting it up. However, they can't be the trustee. So that's where a child typically comes in, or a close friend or relative. That's necessary to actually build that asset protection. Why? Because we have to not eliminate control and not eliminate access, but we have to limit your control and limit your access to this irrevocable trust. And there are certainly different terms between irrevocable Medicaid trusts and irrevocable estate tax trusts. And we can certainly help you determine which trust is appropriate for your situation.